dementia. And I know that there are people in the audience, listening audience, that may have stories of their own when it comes to people in their lives or even themselves. And I bring forth to you Michelle, our engineer, that has a question, and I'd like you to go ahead and ask that question.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you. I'm always busting in on your show.
That's okay.
This is such a good subject matter. Thank you for bringing it to the forefront. Thank you for having the conversation. My mom had Alzheimer's, and there's so many different signs and so many different things that we experience with the progression of her disease that it was heart-wrenching. And there's so many different things to talk about, but one of the things that I recognized or did not recognize is how a urinary tract infection affected or brought on or worsened the effects of her disease. And nobody in our family, my sister was the caregiver at that time, because there was a point where I could not do it. I wasn't informed enough. And my sister was a CPA. And, you know, when your loved one is going through it, you sometimes forget that you know. You know, so we were so confused and took her to the doctors to find out what was going on, and to find out that it was a urinary tract infection. And once that was treated, her symptoms by no means went away, but it subsided. Her anxiety, it subsided the explosion that she was going through. And I did not know that, so I don't know if that's something that. I don't think a lot of people understand that part of it. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times what we try to encourage people is if something is happening with your loved one, like you mentioned, some kind of explosiveness, some kind of bizarre behavior, take them to their primary care, because so oftentimes, like you said, it could be a urinary tract infection. So that can make people act all out of sorts. I mean, I can say, like with my father-in-law who had vascular dementia, I was sitting with him one evening and the family had gone somewhere and he started telling a story and I thought, what is he talking about? And I later told it to my husband and he was like, no, that never happened. And, you know, when they went to get checked by the primary care, sure enough, he had a urinary tract infection. So even people, for any of us, if we have one, it can make us kind of act out of sorts. But with someone living with some form of dementia, you know, it can, I guess, even be more exacerbated, if you will, because they've already got underlying confusion. Maybe that going to the doctor and then her recovering from the urinary tract made you all a little alert.
Yeah.
To some of the behaviors.
It was an eye-opener.
That was already there.
Yeah, because when she got over it, and then you still notice some things, you're like, wait a minute, okay, so it's not the urinary tract infection. So it's not to say that didn't obviously bring it on, right? This is a brain disease. Right. But it exacerbated what was there. It sure did. Yeah.
And to think that there was a correlation between the two was, you know, interesting to me. So the next time when something like that, because I don't know if it's because of the disease that she was susceptible to that or the medication she was on, but she had got a urinary tract infection several times during her disease.
Well, I have a question. Was she in the hospital when she got the urinary tract?
No, we kept her at home. We kept her at home, and we were surprised that she, you know, like, how did that happen? You know, but it happens no matter what.
Well, I'm not a nurse or anything, but I do know with so many people living with the disease, as the disease progresses, you know, they're no longer able to do those self-hygiene things they need to do for themselves or do it well. That's probably where you were going with it. Or also maybe needing to wear incontinence or depends things. And so that might foster an environment that it's more likely to happen.
So, and my sister was very on top of things, very much, but it still happened. And so we were surprised because she had all of those protective things in place to make sure her hygiene was taken care of. And still, it can happen just as easily. You have to stay.
It happened to my mother too.
And even remembering to drink. So someone with the
Drink
disease is
fluids.
not going to remember if they had
They're not
something to
gonna
drink
remember
or
to drink.
eat. So, that
Dehydration.
exactly.
Dehydration.
Exactly.
And it had gotten to a point where my mom had to have thickener in her water because she couldn't drink the water because it was too thin.
Oh, okay.
So they had to put
bring
thickener
it down.
to bring it down. Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
Because of those. I don't know why that was, but maybe it was the lack of knowing how to swallow after a while.
As the disease progresses, they lose the ability to swallow.
Yeah.
Wow, it's a lot to this.
It is a lot. It is a whole lot. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I hope it helps.
It helped somebody out there. I know it helped. Yeah, somebody will recognize it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Ooh.
You want to talk about something positive?
Yeah.
Let's talk about some prevention things.
Yeah. Let's talk about some prevention.
So you had asked me before the podcast about preventing it.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't prevent it, but we can reduce our risk.
Okay.
And there's a lot of power in that. And there is so much science behind this, okay? Evidence-based proof, but we can lower dementia risk. Scientists believe that dementia diagnosis could be reduced by 40%.
That's pretty hefty.
I think that's a pretty positive percentage, right? That we could, if
40% is
yeah,
pretty good.
yeah. So
what are some of these things, the ways?
absolutely.
One, you mentioned foods.
Yep.
So what are what's the type of diet that would be suggested?
So here, with the Alzheimer's Association, we have always recommended the DASH diet. DASH is for hypertension, and the Mediterranean diet. So most recently, we host an international research conference every year. The Alzheimer's Association does. We just recently funded a big study called the U.S. Pointer Study, and the results of that study were shared at this conference. And food was one of the things that they addressed over this study that they did. And they are talking about now a MIND, M-I-N-D, MIND diet. The MIND diet is a combination of the DASH diet and the Mediterranean diet.
Okay.
So we're talking about focusing on dark leafy greens, berries, nuts, whole grains, olive oil, fish, and a diet that limits sugar and unhealthy fats.
Okay. So a lot of that is Mediterranean.
Right.
The vegetables.
Right. Get it, switch over to that olive oil instead of some
Yeah.
vegetable oil.
Okay.
How are we preparing the foods? This is right up Michelle's alley. She's a chef.
Yeah.
So, what can we do to make the food that we're eating even healthier to nourish our bodies?
Right.
And fish is brain power.
Those healthy
that's what
fats.
they say.
Yeah, healthy fats.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's the food. What else can they do to help themselves?
Going to our primary care and making sure we are maintaining and taking care and managing hypertension and type 2 diabetes. Hypertension and type 2 diabetes increase our risk for dementia. So what we can do.
Okay. Wait, let's slow down.
Now we're
the
talking
roll.
about a lot of our population.
A lot of people, and two of them are sitting right here.
I'm sitting up here trying to remember if I took my blood pressure pill this morning.
I took mine.
And it's so important. So that's one thing they looked at too. And they were like making sure that between your lifestyle choices and your medications, you are taking them and you're maintaining them. Because what we know is what's good for the heart is good for the brain, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So we know hypertension is not good for the heart.
No.
That blood flow then, every time our heart beats, 20 to 25% of the blood flow goes solely to our brains.
Right.
So if we're not having that good blood pressure, it's also not going to get that good blood
I know
blood
that
flow to
when
our
my
brain.
blood pressure goes up high, I can tell.
Yeah.
Because I could feel it. I could feel it like in the back of my brain, or
Yeah.
I could just feel it. It's all,
Yeah.
my head does not work well.
No.
So regular checkups, regular monitoring. And I want to encourage people, go to your pharmacy, go to your pharmacist. It's a free consultation to go to a pharmacist, but they also will check. A lot of them used to have, I don't know, they still do, like the blood pressure cuff.
Yeah.
Or they can check it
They
for
do,
you.
yes. Mm-hmm.
But we really need to take it serious because those are things that we can do. Type 2 diabetes, if we can do better at managing that, And some of the foods that we talked about can help us do that.
I was just thinking the same thing. And so food is linked to
Absolutely.
It's linked it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, for example, if we're getting those whole grains and we're getting fiber, the fiber is going to help us with our blood sugar. It's going to help us regulate our blood sugar.
Okay.
Because what we know when someone gets insulin resistance, we're basically starving our brain from the good glucose that it wants.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't go any more into that because I'm not a scientist.
Yeah, but
that's,
I mean,
that's
this is
enough.
Some tips here,
Yeah.
some basic things here.
Yeah, enough to make you want to research it further.
Yeah, absolutely. Please go to our website to alz.org, and you can put in U.S. pointer study or diet, hypertension, any of these things, the 10 warning signs, things we talked about earlier, and you can find out more.
Okay.
Yeah.
ALZ.org. Okay. Alzheimer's. Okay.
Other things we can do?
Yes, other things.
Exercise.
Okay.
We all laughing in here. So we got to start small. We got to start somewhere, right? So under your doctor's supervision, exercise is really important. And they're even studying, well, why is that? And when we exercise, it has some relationship to myelin in the brain. And again, I'm not a scientist,
Right.
but there's proof there. And that exercise is so important. And so what we're talking about is, can we get to moderate to intense aerobic activity 4 times a week, plus strength and flexibility?
Okay.
So now, can we jump in and all do that tomorrow? Can we all get up and go, do that CrossFit,
It
lifting
takes
those
time.
big tires?
Well, the word
Run
jump is
No.
stunned me right there.
Well, there's other reasons I don't want to be jumping, but that relates to age. But start small, even if that means whoever is listening, if it means chair exercises.
Yeah.
Now, chair exercises is a wonderful thing when you talk about seniors, right? Because a lot of us have our knees hurt, our hips, our back, whatever. But sitting in a chair, just doing something, moving your body. I've done it. Chair yoga. I'm going to tell you, it works. You do it. You keep doing it. Next thing you know, you stand. You don't want to sit down. You're standing up and you're doing your thing.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, chair exercise. You just sit in a chair and move your body. Don't let it stop you. That's what I say.
And I don't know about y'all, but for me, it's so much easier for me to do exercise if I can do it with someone. So invite someone to take a walk.
Another
Invite
thing
someone
is
to do it with
music.
Yeah.
Put the music
And
to
dance.
it. And dance.
Dance is exercise. Put the music on and dance in your kitchen.
Yeah, while you cooking.
There you go. While
Cutting
you're
up
cooking
them
up
carrots.
those. That's right.
For that Mediterranean diet.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Lastly, I'll mention challenging our brain. Okay? Challenging our brain. We need to keep learning new stuff. When I'm in the community, I love when people talk to me and share with me what they're doing. And I hear so often, I love to do a word search. That's great. But if you're always doing only a word search, are you learning something new, or are you just getting really good at word search?
Yeah.
So pick up a different
Challenge
puzzle.
yourself.
Challenge yourself. Get Duolingo on your phone and learn Spanish. Learn a new cooking style. Go out there and try to learn a new game or a new hobby.
The last show we talked about seniors over 60 going back to school.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is another reason why you would go back to school and learn Swahili.
Swahili is what I want to learn.
I love it.
Swahili and French.
I love it.
There you go.
And that seniors can take, you probably talked about this on your
I
last
did.
episode, they can
Go
take
ahead.
free classes.
And that's what we talked about.
I am
Yes,
finally
yes.
old enough to get something.
Yes,
Sheesh.
absolutely.
You earned it.
I earned it.
Yeah, so challenging your brain. There are, and I'm not familiar with them, there are actually online mental cognitive games that you can find and play as well.
Okay.
Somebody that used to be a research champion with us, a former colleague at the association, said once a week she would use her non-dominant hand. So she was right-handed, so she would try to use her left hand for a lot of stuff that day.
Wow.
Because that was just one other way that she could simply challenge her
Challenge yourself.
brain.
So challenging our brain, not just sitting in the recliner watching TV.
That's right. Exercise.
Eat right,
Yeah, I can get down with well, I did
I know you can,
I did something
yeah.
Mediterranean last night. Although
Ooh, I wanna
I
hear
did
about
add a
this.
pork chop to
It wasn't fried, was it?
No,
Okay.
no, roasted.
I did Mediterranean